This week on New Music Fridays, Doc D, Planetary Destruction, aka MF Doom comic issue number 2. And you know, I believe that a sound is in the DNA. It doesn't die with the artist, it's passed down through generations. But you have to take the whole style though, being masked up, supervillain theme. You even took the weaknesses too. Lacking flow, overhyped, lacking quality songs. I never got a chance to slander MF Doom albums. Thank God you're here. You can catch the full brunt of what your predecessor was able to avoid. Do yourself a favor and advance the skill set instead of doing an impersonation. Trust me, when MF Doom fans find you, there's a strong chance they won't accept you. And oh yeah, Logic is retired, huh? He just took that Twitch money and made a label and promoted this artist. He also helped on the beats and all of the skits. He's just as retired as the Black Album. But I was wrong though. Lil Skies, Unbothered, the freshman class dropout. Did you see last year's freshman class, by the way? If you're not good enough to make it on this list, then you are straight trash. But as I said for years, this list isn't about the music. And this album is like eating the blandest food that people have hyped up. You have to question if they actually have taste or if they got paid. Backed by Atlantic Records, so of course they got paid to piss away their own credibility. This album was nothing remotely unique or even interesting. It's like when people brag about painting a house white. The only thing interesting about that would be if you did it wrong. I should have just watched the versus battle because at least there you expect to hear the same old same, but classics. Instead of an uncreative individual in a creative industry making his own renditions of songs that have been heavily promoted over years. I wish you were bothered enough to make good music, Skies. Wiz and that beat saved your ass on the only song that you had. And that's the best compliment that I could give this. Joey Badass. Let It Breathe. Now, this was pretty dope. The strong New York vibes from Static Selector to the verses to the whole vintage feel of the video. Said bars like I hold weight in my city, they ain't even see me sweat. Graveyard shifts until they put me into the cemetery. Dropping all these jewels like I'm in a hurry. This was some solid light work. Now, is this peak Joey Badass? Nah, I'm still waiting on that genre-defining classic because he has the capability, but it just hasn't materialized yet. Yes, American Badass was amazing, but I need better from you, Joey. Now, regardless of if you make it or not, I feel your legacy is well intact. As one of the best to come out of New York in a minute, I'm talking about you getting in that discussion of Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. But good joint though. BRS Kash. Cash only. Interscope's new artist. Regardless of if Jimmy Iovine is still calling the shots, when they drop something, you should still be paying attention until they completely fall off. Doesn't look to be trending in the right direction though. Not saying that Kash was bad, but minus Cash App, which was a New Orleans bounce hit if I've ever heard one in my life, there isn't too much else on this. And to be real with you, the New Orleans inspired tracks on this were the most interesting pieces of this project. Now this may be more of a critique towards Atlanta though. You guys have been doing the same shit for years. And people wonder why cities can't maintain the attention of the masses, and it's because when one act get on, then every other following act tries to do the same exact thing as long as there's a music scene. Stop this. Craft your own identity. But at the end of it, I will say Kash is more dynamic and versatile than most. There's a bunch of potential here, but it's just that, potential. I need to see growth in all areas here. Lil Wayne, Ain't That Time. Well, I'll be damned. Who says Coonin doesn't pay? As this song is supposed to be a view into his stress that he's been living with as the feds has been hounding him. But not those who raided the Capitol though. You know, those who the FBI have made memos about since Obama was in office. Those people that they did nothing about, but they're still chasing after Little Coon. His chick said, you better lock me down before they lock you up. That's cold game. But my, how the tables have turned through the power of bootlicking Trump. I put 20 on it that she's gonna be on a skit crying eventually. See, I never want to see anyone go to jail, especially not one of my childhood heroes, until I begun to follow all of his moves in life. It's like how they always say you should never meet your heroes. I'm glad he's free, but he's too much of a butter biscuit eating buck dancer for me. Song was alright. Maybe he shouldn't be so high that he can take songs like this with potential and actually turn it into something? Just a thought.